welcome. Welcome to Wednesday Wandering with me, Cate Field. Wandering about stuff, not just wandering off. I think I'm going to take the hat off, actually. Although I do like it. I do like it. So, we are in Hallowtide, aren't we? And in this week's Wednesday Wandering, I'm going to be talking about the traditions and the history of this time of year, because it's something that I feel I'm just really interested in. So this is going to be the theme of Wednesday Wandering. So welcome if you are new, and welcome back if you've been with me for a while. I release content on a Monday and a Friday, which is art related and tutorials, and on a Wednesday we have Wednesday Wandering. So, Hallowtide. Well, this traces back to the Celtic festival of Samhain, and this is a time when the boundaries between the living and the spirit world are thin. If you think of the time of year, it's the end of harvest and the beginning of winter, and for the Celtic tradition this was the new year. This was the Celtic New Year, and it was a celebration of life and death, of new beginnings, of things changing, and that kind of circle of life. And it was a time when families lit candles and lanterns, and there were bonfires, and the community got together. Now, fire, of course, has protective qualities, and there is something quite magical about a fire, and I've lit my fire and my candles here as we're going into winter here in the southwest of England. So it was really interesting when I was doing a little bit more research into the Celtic traditions, especially in Britain and in Ireland, and it was just such a fascinating time of history. So people would dress up. You would dress up in animal skins and in masks, and this was to ward off the evil spirits and to make sure that the good spirits, the spirits of your ancestors, were able to find you and come back. And there were little plays in the street, sort of street theatre, and people would go from door to door sharing gifts and stories. It was very much a community festival. It was very important festival. And of course, when Christianity started to come in, they decided that they wanted to kind of try and replace Samhain with All Saints' Day. And this is quite a kind of a traditional thing, isn't it? In when we look at the early Christians, they, instead of just trying to sort of wipe everything out, they would just kind of like blend what there was already. And of course, with All Saints' Day, which was also called All Hallows' Day, Hallows is another name for the sort of the hallowed spirits of the saints, and that was decided that it was going to be on November the 1st. So I think that was Pope Gregory IV. Pope Gregory IV. What a bloke. I need to find out more about him. I definitely do need to find out more about him. So these traditions were absorbed. So the carving of lanterns, and these lanterns in Ireland and in Britain would have been from turnips and potatoes. And then, of course, when the Irish started to migrate to the United States, that's when they found pumpkins, because we don't have pumpkins in this country, but they have pumpkins in the United States, and they are much easier to carve than a turnip. They really are. And they're much bigger, and they're orange, and they just look amazing. So this is really interesting, and this got me kind of more interested in this idea of the lanterns and Jack, and who was Jack. And so I found a story, and I'm just going to go and find it. Found it. So, the tale of Stingy Jack. Stingy Jack was a clever but deceitful and miserly man, known for his manipulative ways. One day, Jack invited the devil to join him for a drink. And true to his stingy nature, Jack didn't want to pay. And instead, he convinced the devil to turn himself into a coin so Jack could pay for the drinks. The devil agreed, but instead of paying, Jack put the coin in his pocket alongside a silver cross, trapping the devil and preventing him from changing back to his original form. Jack eventually made a deal with the devil, promising to release him under the condition that the devil wouldn't claim Jack's soul for 10 years. The devil reluctantly agreed, and Jack freed him. The second encounter. 10 years later, the devil came to collect Jack's soul, but once again, Jack managed to trick the devil, and this time convincing him to climb a tree to retrieve a piece of fruit. While the devil was in the tree, Jack quickly carved a cross into the bark, trapping him again. Jack only released the devil after securing a promise that he would never claim Jack's soul. The fate of Stingy Jack. When Jack eventually died, he found himself unwelcome in both heaven and hell. Heaven refused him due to his sinful life, and the devil, true to his word, would not allow him into hell. Instead, the devil sent Jack away with a single burning coal to light his way as he wandered eternally in the darkness. Jack placed the coal inside a hollowed-out turnip, creating a makeshift lantern. And thus, Jack became known as Jack of the Lantern, and legend has it that he still roams the earth, carrying his lantern to light the way. Oh, I love a good story. So like I said, in Ireland and Scotland and in England, we were carving, and in Wales, sorry, I forgot the Welsh, sorry. We carved out of turnips and potatoes. But then in America and Canada, we found pumpkins, which were much better. So the moral of the story, well, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Greed, deceit, and the consequences of one's actions. So yes, he might have been clever, but he didn't get away with it, did he? Not really. So I'm just going back to my notes now because I wanted to have a little talk about All Hallows. So All Hallows is about the saints and the martyrs, and Pope Gregory IV. So he established this November the 1st as the official date, and November the 2nd became All Souls Day. So now we have the eve of All Hallows and Halloween, All Hallows and All Souls, and these 3 days become Hallowtide. And it evolved by blending these traditions, the traditions of the ancient Celts and then the new wave of Christianity. But some things stayed the same. The connection of community, the fires, the candles, the celebration of those we've lost, and that kind of magical idea, that embracing of the mystery of the spiritual world. So that is my Wednesday wandering for today. Thank you for joining me on this journey through our rich traditions. And I hope it's inspired you to see this magical time of year with a new sense of wonder, I think. A new sense of wonder and that connection with the past. So whether you're lighting a candle or carving a lantern or simply embracing the season, I hope you will find joy and comfort in celebrating these ancient traditions. So until next time, keep creating, keep exploring, and have a wonderful Halloween. Bye-bye.